Hey, welcome to the channel. Today, I'm going to be running the air lines for these airbags up to the air compressor. So this is the air compressor we're going to wire in. So I'm going to run them up, tee them together, and then run them right to the front, and I'm going to put the air compressor under the hood, just because this truck drives a lot of gravel, so it probably wouldn't last long sitting on the side of the frame. Alright, so first make sure you add your heat wrap on your tube here. Also got a little shield that goes on the exhaust too. So I think I'm gonna run this one up. So I'll just cut it off at approximately what I need. So now we can hook these two together. I'm gonna tee it and then run one line right to the front of the truck. So I'll probably tee it here. Maybe back a little bit. Probably about here. And that gives a nice spot for the front line to run all the way to for the other line to go all the way to the front there. So trim this a bit. So I'm just gonna put one in here and I'll just run that all the way to the front. So just make sure I have enough line. So I just ran the airline up with all these other wires that go all the way to the front of the truck. So we'll just zip tie it along to hold it in place. So now I got the hose ran up into the engine bay. I'm going to put a T in here with an end so you can fill the airbags from here, but then also run it to the pump. So if your pump ever dies or whatever the problem is, you can still let the air out easy enough here or fill it up. So I'll just drill a hole here and put a T in, and then we can run the rest of the pump, which I'll probably mount the pump right around here. Probably something like this. I think I would imagine probably works. So now we got our hole drilled. I can mount this in, and then I can kind of run and put the T down at the bottom here so it's out of the way. So probably put the T, put this T right here. So it just comes in. This is just an auxiliary if you ever need it. Shouldn't ever need it, but just in case. And then run one more to the right to the pump. So we'll just run this one into the top. Might have to cut a little bit more off it. Yeah, about there. Let's add this to the top. So it sits kind of here. And the other line just comes in right there. Let's trim this one off. So I just ran the lines up along the frame, over the tank, and just teed them together here from this one. So then they go just one line up, and they just go, it just will follow the factory wires up to the front. so I can put the spare tire back up, the rear tire's on, and then just finish running a couple wires in the front and test it out. Since there's not much room here, I just zip tied the module right here, ran the ignition switch down and then back up the park brake boot, and mounted the air compressor right here. And then just there's a little, you can put in your 12-volt power and then your ground on there, and then I just ran the ground from the pump right here. And if you want to see it works, I got it on my, so here's the app. And if you want to tell your current pressure right there, and let it back down. Then the airline. This is an accessory airline, so if your pump dies or whatever reason, you can still fill it up and let the air out this way. It just has a T in, just T's in down here, and then that line runs all the way to the back. And then T's in, you can see in here, T's in up here, together between the bags, and all the way to the front still. And then for ignition switch power, the one I was talking about, I just ran it up. There's a little boot on your brake. I just ran the wire in here, came up here, and on these trucks there's ignition switch power right here. So instead of having to splice in a wire, you can just put an end on and you can just use this here as long as you're not using it for anything else. And it works pretty good. So then you get turn it on. You got 12-volt power with the ignition on, as you can see here. Tesla. And then you can turn key off. So that's the easiest way to fire it, and I found, anyways. But like and subscribe, and you'll see more videos like this. Thanks.